Dubious ones, welcome back. Today we are going to go over the 10 most likely coming patches, updates, and DLC coming to AEW Fight Forever based on our community feedback. If you guys were not aware, Zyddies, the community manager for AEW Fight Forever, has posted out, and I posted a news update for you guys to vote, the feedback thread that they put together for this game. The votes are in. It's been sent off to THQ Nordic and the guys at AEW. This is what we asked for, and these are the votes tallied up in order of what we want most. And what I'm going to break down for you is not just the top 10 things that have been voted by you and by me, by all of us, the wrestling game community, the fans of this game, not just the top 10 things that were voted in, but the 10 most likely updates we're going to get, because not all of this is going to be likely, sadly, coming to the game, at least not right away. So I'm going to break down the 10, obviously these top 10 things that we voted on, as well as the top 10 things I think will be making it into the game just based on ease of use, ease of implementation, as well as my wish list for the top 10 things I think are most important to come to this game for the health of this game long term. First off, if you're not familiar with Zyddies, at Zyddies, he is the community manager for THQ Nordic and for AEW Fight Forever. He is a great follow and is very interactive with the community. He's most recently posted, AEW Fight Forever content creators, hear me. When you make a video that includes statements from them, you're not 100% sure what it means, feel free to reach out to him or to Jen Fanier, who is the PR manager for THQ Nordic. They will be happy to help. So these guys are very interactive with us. I'm very happy about that. But now, let's get into, first off, just very easily, based on the number of votes here, the top 10 things that we voted for to see implemented here in AEW Fight Forever. Number one here is we want, the most wanted thing, most voted for feature is an expanded creator wrestler system, more pieces, import, export system, and it had a total of 279 votes out of the 1,000 that we got. A lot of people want this, and it was more than 279 if you go down further and look at all the extra things that are basically the same thing that go over more just creator wrestler stuff, more custom stuff for custom texture uploads for creator wrestler, etc. That is the most wanted thing. Number two, the numbers are obviously all off by one because number one says item amount of people, etc. But as you can see, number two most voted on, a GM/universe mode. No surprise there. We need more stuff for single player offline play. How likely is it? Well, I'll get into that in a minute. But first, number three, complete AEW roster with 101 votes. GM Universe mode with 143 votes out of the 1,068 we got. Number four, steel cage matches with also 101 votes, tied for number three here with completing the AEW roster. Expanded customizations for AEW wrestlers / factions and shirts. I would also just tie this over to the expanded creator wrestler system as a whole. With 97 votes. This is what I mean. We need an expanded customization creation suite. That is key in any successful wrestling game. Number six here, we've got tornado matches / tag team tornado matches with 93 votes. 6-player matches here with 92 votes. New Japan Pro Wrestling DLC with 89 votes, accessibility options with 83 votes, and then finally at number 10, because again, number 1 is not actually a thing, so all the numbers are off by 1. But at number 10, harder, longer matches for, I'm guessing, Road to Elite, television and pay-per-view matches for Road to Elite with 82 votes. Now, let's go over the top 10 things I most think is needed in this game. This is what we need to see the most. Number one for me is definitely cross-play. Now, where did cross-play end up on this list? Let's go down here. It's number 17. Only got 56 votes. But in my opinion, cross-play is the most important feature we need in this game to help it succeed long term. For online, you need a thriving online community. You need to combine the player pools. If you don't include PC because people can maybe mod hacks in or whatever else, fine. You need at least all the consoles to have crossplay and have the option to turn on crossplay for PC, but not have it optional for all consoles so that you can match with everyone. A maximum player size. Number one. Number two for me is regular balance passes, patches, fixing broken moves and abilities as well as bugs. We need somewhat regular balance passes in this game. As you can tell already, if you played any ranked online, there are some broken moves that are either unreversible, or even if you do reverse them, they still are plus on block or whatever you want to consider it, and they can keep spamming it and there's nothing you can do about it. Number one main offender, the leg sweep. There's literally nothing you can do against someone who's spamming leg sweep other than spam it yourself. It's ridiculous. It's made ranked unplayable and unfun. We need balance patches. Obviously, everybody complains about all the creator wrestlers in online. Well, solution to that, again, we need to balance the abilities. Unyielding poise for guys like Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs, Big Show, Brody Lee. The unyielding poise has too much health. It's a little bit too strong, and that any creator wrestler can just have it if you take them through Road to Elite. Again, it needs balancing. Doesn't need taken out, just needs some tuning. As well as the rollout. Being able to roll out of the ring. If you're MJF, Adam Cole, like half the roster has the rollout. And obviously all the creator wrestlers have the rollout. You can spam it unlimitedly in ranked matches. So the entire ranked match ends up you running after someone outside the ring, trying to get a count-out win, because every time you throw them in the ring, they can just click their thumbstick and roll right out of the ring, and it's ridiculous. You should only be able to use it once per match, twice at the very most. Number three, I would say main offenders, or I guess number four for the main offenders here, I would say is the eye poke. Not as many people use it in online, but if you get to those higher ranks in online ranked, eye pokes are a big problem. You can reverse it, yes, a little bit less of a pain point than the leg sweep, but if leg sweep goes away and you can properly reverse it where they become dazed after you reverse it, then eye poke I can see becoming a bigger problem. And then as well as guard break. That is another very strong ability. There are other strong abilities in the game, but these are the main offenders you're seeing in ranked right now. This is why we need somewhat regular balance passes and patches fixing over time, because there'll be bugs and stuff that come in over time. We just need some sort of regular balance patches coming every few months, every season, whatever. Every mid-season patch, whatever. Number three on my list, community creations. A much more immersive creation suite. As you can see on our list right here, community creations is all the way because the expanded, first we need this, expanded creator wrestler system, much better creator wrestler system. Then we can go down and go to share community creations, number 25 with 43. The community creations only becomes useful when we can get awesome creations like you're seeing in the mod community right now on PC. If those could just be uploaded to community creations and anyone could download them, amazing. That would be perfect. Just like WWE Games has, they've perfected the community creations. They had a lot of bugs over the years, but it's fantastic the way it is. It's been in 2K22. I haven't played 2K23, but the system's there. The creations look amazing. So we need to update the creator wrestler, be able to import your own textures and images to make accurate creator wrestlers. And then you need community creations to be able to share those those creations. They go hand in hand for me. Number four, most important for me, is obviously more match types, stipulations, freedom to be able to use thumbtacks in any match. Have you ever played any of the match types in this game? Have you had trouble finding thumbtacks? That's because you can only find thumbtacks along with garbage cans. Chairs, I believe, as well for some reason. And a few others only in a lights out match. Not even in a falls count anywhere. Not in the no DQ matches. Not in a ladder match. You can only find thumbtacks and a few other things in a lights out match, and that is silly to me. They need to be available for anything. For things like a garbage can or a chair, you can make it for your creator wrestler anyways, your favorite weapon. So you pull that out first. You get to pull it out once. Same thing with like a ladder or a table. You can pull it out guaranteed on your first try, but they need to be able to add thumbtacks to that so that you can guaranteed to pull out thumbtacks every match, as well as they need to add them as you can just grab them in any match type. Number 5, more single player options. This would fall into the universe, GM universe mode, anything like that. You need more single player options because there's not a lot to do. This game, if you're playing single player, can get boring really quick because the AI isn't very good, and there's no, other than Road to Elite, once you've done that a handful of times, it's not really fun just to play against the AI by yourself. If you have friends to play with, fine, but again, that's why I think online is so important first and foremost, because of you need the multiplayer aspect to a game like this, but you do need more single player options. So an expanded Road to Elite universe GM mode, championship tournaments, have an Owen Hart Cup, like a championship tournament feature, like a King of the Ring style, Owen Hart Cup style, just, more modes. Number 6 for me would be online tournaments. Going along that Owen Hart Cup theme there. Having online tournaments that you can set up with your friends or join online tournaments if there was in the ranked or unranked even. That would be cool. Being able to just have a tournament online where you set up, you have 4 of your buddies, and maybe you can expand it online, which would be way better, where you could have maybe say 16 people in a tournament. You're facing off 1v1, get to the end of the tournament, and obviously you can leave the tournament when you're knocked out, but if you make it to the end, you get some, like, that would be so awesome. I would love to play in any kind of online tournaments. That would be wonderful. Number 7, better online lobbies. This to me is a must. We need some sort of quick search feature because as it is right now, all you can find is a normal 1v1 match. In casuals or in ranked, that's all you can find right now, or for the most part anyways, unless you're in your own private lobbies with friends already set. You need, on top of a quick search feature that would help fill casino battle royal matches, 4-ways, trios, tag teams, whatever, triple threat. I shouldn't say trios, that's not in the game. Triple threat, 4-way, etc. You need a quick search feature so it'll just automatically pop you into whatever match types are looking for people. On top of that, creating your own lobbies, like we've had in 2K for years now. Be able to create your own match type and have a lobby system where people can see, oh, look, there's a 4-way match with 3 of 4 in there. I'm going to hop in there. Oh, there's a tag team match with 2 of 4. I'm going to hop in there with my buddy. Oh, there's a whatever the match type is, casino battle royal. There's whatever. There's Stadium Stampede. Like, we don't know how that's going to work. You create one of those. Oh, we're looking for people. You need at least 10 people to fill it. Well, there's 8 of the possible 30. People pop in. Maybe, hopefully, you can start the match with less than 30. Again, we don't know what's happening with Stadium Stampede. I'm very hopeful for it. Hope it's great. Hope it works out well and the online is great and smooth for it. But regardless, we need better online lobbies with more features. Number 8 for me is an expanded roster, whether it be Ring of Honor DLC, Forbidden Door, New Japan DLC, the current roster, the Acclaimed, the Guns, Daddy Ass. There's so many people missing. Swerve Strickland, Jamie Hayter, Tony Storm, Saraya, Athena, Claudio Castagnoli, the rest of the Bullet Combat Club and the JAS and like everybody that's on TV right now that's not in the game. Bullet Club Gold, obviously very new to the game. They should be in there. Like, there's a lot of expanded roster and DLC that need to come into this game. Number 9 for me, more unlockables. Owen Hart having to do 100 1v1 matches where ranked and casual matches online don't count. Super silly that I have to do 1v1 matches versus the CPU or against just another controller in the game to be able to unlock them. A little silly way to unlock, but still cool that we have the unlockables. Same thing with Brody Lee, Big Show. We need more unlockables, not just characters, but just, add in 50, 100 new moves into a DLC or a patch and have them unlockable through the store with your AEW bucks or do cool things to unlock them. Stuff like that. Just more unlockables would be fun. Gives you more things to do offline. Number 10 for me would be expansions to Road to Elite. Add more story. Add an expansion to it. Obviously, you could make it where after the first year your stats are capped out, but you can continue playing and going through the different paths, adding more branching paths. Just adding to the single player offline experience is a must for me. Now, the part of the video that you all came to see, the 10 most likely updates we will be seeing from all the feedback we got based on how easy and how much dev time / difficulty it would take to implement them into the game. If something's going to take 6 months to a year worth of dev time and all the resources they have to do one thing versus being able to implement things that are, already in the game in Road to Elite, but just not available for some reason outside of Road to Elite, be a lot easier to implement those things. So here, based on the list here in order, is my top 10 things that I think are most likely out of the entire list. We had down to 161 different suggestions here. A lot of them are they lap over each other and they're just worded differently. But either way, out of all the votes here, these are the top 10 most likely updates we will actually get in this game. So the number one thing for me would be, obviously based on where it is in and the number of votes, is going to be an expanded creator wrestler system. Expanded customization for AEW wrestlers. So it, would be combining this as well as the expanded customization for AEW wrestlers faction shirts, as well as all the other, creator wrestler stuff that's lower on the list here. But expanded creator wrestler system customizations, it's number one voted for a reason. It is the most lackluster thing and disappointing part of the game. And I definitely think they're going to expand on the creator wrestler in some way, shape, or form. Whether we're able to import our own pieces and textures, we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully at some point, and hopefully sooner rather than later. But I definitely think that is definitely going to be number one. We will be getting an expanded creator wrestler in some shape or form soon, and hopefully expanded upon over time as well. Number two, expanded roster / DLC. So this would have been the number three, being right here, complete the AEW roster, as well as number 8, New Japan DLC, number 29, all the way here, ROH DLC, number 49, number 50, AAA DLC, Evil Uno DLC, Impact DLC, whatever else, number 63 here, all more female representation, all that stuff. All those things, I think, number 2, the likely, we obviously see, we already know we're getting DLC, we know we're getting more wrestlers coming in. Coming up next, I believe, is Keith Lee and the Bunny, and then we're getting Hook and Danhausen. Obviously, they're going to be expanding the roster. That is a no-brainer. Number 2, an expanded roster is coming to this game, for sure. Number 3 is, sadly, again, not a GM Universe mode. That's not our number 2. Our number 2 is completing the AEW roster. Number 3, for me, what I think is coming, don't think it's going to be steel cage matches either. And this I lumped into number 2 or number 1 here. But for me, it's going to be tornado matches. Tornado tag team matches. Why? Because it's already in Road to Elite. I'm pretty sure when I played through Road to Elite, I had some matches that were a tornado tag team match. I'm 99% certain on that it's already there. And because it's so highly voted here as well, I think it's an easy change. It's basically just a 4-way, but only you have 2 teams, so you're not fighting each other. You're fighting, you know what I mean? It's, I think, the easiest match type addition to add into the game. But to branch off of this as well as making, because there's a number of things asking for match types here in the list. So I'll just break down as my number 3, not just tornado tag team matches I think are coming, but make your own match types with lots of options. That is number 23 here. Basically just turning on submissions on, submissions off, pins on, pins off. So you want a submission match. You want a 2 out of 3 falls match. Maybe putting knockouts in the game, having a knockout match or last man standing match. Blood's already in the game, so a first blood match. Making falls count anywhere, just an option to turn on and off, not its own separate match type. And then adding also being able to take the thumbtacks available in all match types. I said it before. I'll say it again. I think that needs to be in there. But on top of this, more match types people asked for, as you'll see at number 32. Gauntlet match mode. There's already a gauntlet match in Road to Elite. So I definitely think they can easily implement this. I don't see why they wouldn't. It's already in Road to Elite. You already have to do a gauntlet match in part of the story mode. So I don't see how it's hard to implement that in any way, shape, or form. It's already in the game. Same thing with number 38, handicap tag. And again, with the number here, remember, number 1 is just item and amount of people. So it's all one behind. But number 38 here, handicap tag team matches. Handicap matches, again, already in Road to Elite. Not hard to implement it. Not hard to, it's not going to require like any dev time to be able to just make that a match type that we can make. I don't develop video games, obviously. I don't know how hard it is, but it's like it's already coded in the game somehow. So I can't imagine it's very hard. So I definitely think all those things I'm putting into my number 3 pick of things we are likely definitely going to be seeing coming into AEW in an upcoming patch or DLC. Number 4, harder, longer matches. Number 10 requested. We're already down here at number 10 for what I think's coming, because some of this DLC and stuff, I include that as part of the complete the roster. But we see at number 10 here, harder, longer matches. They're talking about television pay-per-view for Road to Elite, I guess, but just a harder difficulty in general than Elite difficulty, because it's not very hard for some people. If you want a harder difficulty, I definitely don't think that's going to be that hard to code in. I could be wrong, but I definitely think we'll see that at some point. Number 5, improved pinning/submission system. Number 12, 73 votes. I definitely think there's been enough talk about people hating mashing buttons. I think it's fine. People complain about turbo controllers. I don't even know how much that really helps. Like, maybe it does. I've always been good at just mashing buttons, and if I don't get out of the pin, I don't get out. It's never bothered me. I'm fine with it. I understand for accessibility options, some people can't do that. I don't think they need to get rid of it. I think they could have an either-or situation where they have something in lieu of. But as far as submitting goes, in the training, submissions are based on the damage to a body part as well as your spirit meter. If your spirit meter is too high, even with a damaged body part, you don't get submitted. You don't even have to press any buttons to get out. It just gets out of the submission. I don't know if mashing buttons even does anything for the current submission system. So I definitely think it could use some work there. The submission system, even if you do mash all the buttons as fast as you can, from what I've seen, if the body part in general is in red and your spirit is, in green or lower, you're going to get submitted. Like, it's as simple as that. So I don't know. I think it has to do with your spirit meter and the limb damage. Anyways, number 6 thing I think will be coming is multi-man ladder matches. Number 14, being able to do more than a 1v1 ladder match. Again, I swear, I remember playing in one of my Road to Elite sessions, there was a multi-man ladder match. So I thought you just unlocked it and it was part of the game. It is not. It makes no sense to me that you can't have a 3 or 4-way ladder match. You can pull out multiple ladders if you're in a 4-way match, if you have 4 creative wrestlers that have a ladder as their specific weapon to pull out. You can pull out 4 ladders. I don't see where the difficulty is in putting in a multi-man ladder match. And like I said, I'm pretty sure it's already in the game because I remember playing it in Road to Elite at some point. So I think it's already in the game. I think for sure we're going to get it. I don't think it's going to be a lot. It's going to be very difficult to put that in. And it's got 65 of the votes at number 14. Number 7, I think we're going to be seeing is going to be expanded Road to Elite for more years. Number 16, I think this isn't going to be a hard one to get. I think it's likely that they'll be able to, just make Road to Elite not necessarily end. For the creator wrestler being able to add the points and everything, they could easily cut that off after the first year. Then you've got your stats and that's all you get. And beyond that, you can continue playing and you just go through the different branching options. Because of the limited branching options, I don't really know how fun it would be to keep continuing it, but I definitely think they will expand it with DLCs and add more to it because it is their core, what is there to do outside of playing the game online and having, just a couple of couch co-op matches. What else is there to do? What is the single player experience? It is Road to Elite. I do think they'll expand upon it myself. So that is my number 7 of what I think is going to be most likely coming. Number 8 will be an improved reversal system at number 18. Improved reversal system. Look what I just skipped over. Oh my god. Crossplay. I skipped it. My number 1 most desired and wish list thing that I'm hoping comes to this game. And I don't think it's likely coming anytime soon, and I'll explain at the end why. But my number 8 is an improved reversal system. Number 18, a lot of people complaining about the difficulty reversing. You can see if you go into the training mode yourself, if you're trying to reverse signatures or specials, you can set the AI to attacking you. You can set them to always in their signature or always in their special, and then you can just practice your reversing. You can see it'll give you a prompt telling you when you've done the reversal timing, if you did it at the right time or if you didn't. And for signatures and finishers, it'll tell you sometimes, and I'm assuming it's the same with all weapons or all moves, but sometimes it just says you didn't have enough spirit. You timed it right, but you didn't have enough spirit to reverse it. So if that's the case, I think that could be maybe worked on, but do you want to be able to just reverse everybody's sigs and finishers all the time super easy? So I do think I think there'll be some sort of updates to it. I don't know in which way, how they'll do it, but I definitely think they'll improve the reversal system somehow. Number 9, what I think is most likely going to come first, separate queues for creative wrestlers online, especially in ranked. Number 20. Again, skipping over this. Why? Because these are the most likely top 10 things, patches, updates, and DLC we're going to see because it's the easiest for them to implement. And again, I will go over all that at the end, my honorable mentions. But number 9, separate queues for create a wrestler, especially in ranked. I think there's been enough yelling and screaming about the nonsense creator wrestlers that all have the same spammy moves. I think ability passes and tuning could help alleviate a lot of the problems. I don't think separately queuing cause online will fix all the problems because there are in-game wrestlers that have the spammable, abusable nonsense like rolling out of the ring and the leg sweep and all the other problems. They're still going to resonate. It might not be as extreme, but it'll still be there if they don't do balance passes and tuning. But I definitely do think this will get implemented because there have been enough people screaming about it online, and it has been addressed by Zyddies himself, saying that they're aware of the feedback and they've passed it along. My number 10 thing that I do think will be coming to this game, most likely, and we're going to see a lot of the stuff come to this game eventually if this game is supported and if more people are buying it and putting money into this game. I do think we'll see more than this. This is just the first top 10 things I think are most likely coming in order of where they were on this list. And so number 10, harder difficulty settings, basically number 11 and number 34. Right here, harder, longer matches for TV and pay-per-view. And then number 34, harder difficulty and Road to Elite. I just think it's coming. I don't think it's, I don't think it's really a hard thing to do. I guess I already went over this in number 4, but I definitely think it's definitely coming. It's definitely easy. And since that was kind of my number 4 as well, I didn't really notice that. I would say then the next most likely thing that we're going to see is, and I already went over making your own match types with lots of options, that I think we would probably get a community creations if they did expand the create a wrestler enough, that I think there would be enough demand for it. If the create a wrestler was good enough, then that would probably be my last thing I would put as my number 10 option there. But honorable mentions, and this is why it's funny that I say share community creations right there, is because my honorable mentions are things that were voted so high and why I don't think they're going to be coming anytime soon. The amount of dev time it would take to implement something like a GM or universe mode. versus being able to take a tornado match that already exists in the game in Road to Elite and make it just a regular playable match. This takes zero effort. On a scale of 1 to 10, let's put this at a 1. Let's put a GM universe mode and creating that from the ground up at a 10. So this is probably more likely to come than this. Same thing in my honorable mentions. Crossplay. Crossplay, don't know how more people didn't scream for this, as it is the most important thing to any game's longevity, is the online. It's number 17, crossplay. Again, I don't know the logistics going into it. I think we would have already had it if it was that easy. I think it would already be in the game. And I think for something like our Stadium Stampede, and you want to get 30 people into an online match, I think crossplay is needed. It's my number one thing that I think needs to come to this game. But I don't think we're going to see it before any of this other stuff. Definitely not. I think it's going to put way too much dev time, way too much whatever the issues are going through PlayStation, Switch, and the Xbox ecosystems and making them all play nice together. I don't know if money's involved or what. I don't know any of the details and what makes it, where a game like Fortnite is big enough they can say, hey, you're either doing crossplay or we're pulling out of your platform, and Sony has to bend over and say, okay, whereas a game as small as AEW Fight Forever, okay, cool, we'll take you off our platform, no problem. They're not losing any money there. So I don't know how difficult implementing crossplay will be. Sadly, I think if it was super easy, we'd have seen it in the 2K series for years now. So I don't know if we'll see it. And lastly, for me, my honorable mentions will be, obviously, Community Creations is in the same boat as crossplay, except Community Creations I think is more likely because I don't know how much dev time, but it's something that's been requested since before the game came out. I do think we'll see it at some point. That's why it kind of ended up rolling into my number 10 slot because I didn't realize my number 10 slot was the same as my number 4 slot with the harder match types. But honorable mentions definitely also goes to every single game type, match type, like new match types that aren't already in the game. For instance, Steel Cage, number 4 here with 101 votes, tied for number 3. Steel Cage type is a very requested match type. Yes, same thing with Trios at number 11. They have Trios belts. They should be getting these things in the game. But the amount of dev time it takes to get these matches, I'm not saying we're not going to get them. I think we will get them over time. But I don't think it's going to be the top 10 things we're seeing sooner rather than later. The first things we're going to get, I definitely don't think match types are going to be in them. As you can see, Dog Collar number 19, 54 votes. Blood and Guts at number 22, 52 votes. I just don't think we're going to see new match types. And I would much rather see new match types than more mini games. But the amount of dev time that goes into building something like Blood and Guts, probably a lot more than something that goes into building a minigame. So I don't think we're going to see new match types in the immediate near future. I do think we will get something like Steel Cage match. Maybe a dog collar match would be great, but definitely trios matches. I think the trios matches thing is 6 people in the ring at a time. I think that could be an issue on the Switch. But if we're seeing 30 people in a Stadium Stampede and they're going to be doing that and that's going to be on the Switch, then I really don't understand how, if they're going to be able to do that and implement that, how we can't do a 6-man match. So, I don't know with that one. That's, I'm kind of at a loss for that one. Your guess is as good as mine. But I hope this video was helpful. I hope I brought some new insight to you, some new information that maybe you didn't see. Maybe you didn't see the updated votes on what got sent off to AEW and to THQ Nordic. These are the most requested modes, match types, anything that the community wanted to see, all the way from 1 vote for a Texas death match, better end screen after a CPU versus CPU matches, pause it so we can see a winner. Tony, literally, he would just take whatever somebody tweeted and put it in with terrible grammar down, whatever it is, they'd throw it in, but create a taunt feature. All the way up to the number 1, wanting expanded create a wrestler system, more pieces, imports. If you want to see this entire list yourself, just go over to Zyddies' Twitter, at ZYDDIES, scroll down, and you can see this all the way down posts a lot about his cat. He seems to love his cats. So if you love pictures of cats, you will love his Twitter. But if you love AEW Fight Forever, you'll also enjoy his Twitter. But if you go scroll down all the way to July 11th, he's already shown this on Discord, blah, 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 blah. This is the tweet. This is the document. You just click here. It'll bring this up for you. The list will be in this order. So it's all kind of everywhere just based on when he put it in. So the amount of people who voted for everything here is completely all over the place. So all I did was I just filtered by the amount of people here and brought to you everything in order. If you want to look through the entire list yourselves, feel free. But dubious ones, I really hope you guys have been enjoying AEW Fight Forever. I really hope we get some updates and some balance tuning, because I've lost all interest in playing ranked matches online as to number, 15, 16, 14, wherever I am now in that ranking on Xbox. It's not fun having the same match type over and over again where I'm playing the same cause, where we all have the same spammy moveset, with the same leg sweeps, the same reversals, the same rolling outside the ring. And it's a 20-minute match of just running around the ring, trying to leg sweep the person and signature them into a count-out win. It's not fun. Like, it gets very tiresome after doing that 2 or 3 times. So having that be every single match you play online, it's not fun, and it needs to be dealt with, because the online community will completely erode if there isn't some balance patches coming. If they don't tune that, separating creator wrestlers and any creation, editing in-game wrestlers' moves and stuff from online ranked, and having just base AEW roster in there would help. But then you're going to just have the balancing problems of the overpowered wrestlers, and you're just going to be fighting the same guys. And again, you'll still have the rollout problem where your MJFs, your Adam Coles, whoever has it, will just roll out of the ring over and over again, and you'll never ever be able to pin them or submit them. So balance tuning needs to come. If you're listening to this video, you made it this far, I appreciate it. Please voice your opinions to the AEW Fight Forever. Please do it politely, courteously. These people, they're just people too. Everybody's people. We're all humans, folks. But be nice to your community managers. It's great that they're this vocal with us. They're letting us know what's coming. But also voice your opinion. Let them know you want whatever features. You want to see balance come to the online, as I do. You want to see crossplay. I voice this stuff to them all the time. Zyddies has replied to me directly many times. Great guy, super nice. I have high hopes for this game in the future, and hopefully they do continue listening to the community. But anyways, dubious ones, please feel free, leave a like, comment down below what you would like to see come to the game, what you think is your most likely features coming to the game. Put your top 10, top 5 down below, and just give me your feedback. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of my wish list. What you think, what you think we're going to see first. Do you think that my top 10 is right? Do you think the actual top 10 of things people voted on are all going to make it in? Do you think all this stuff will actually make it into the game? And if so, when? Let me know your thoughts down below. Anyways, dubious ones, that is it for this one. I hope you enjoyed the video. We will catch you in the next one. That is it for now. Take care. And we'll see you later. Peace.